6:58 a.m. Welcome back to the Now Morning Show. So, this September, the Trinidad and Tobago men's deaf futsal team will be participating in the 2022 championship in Brazil. Joining us this morning on the Now Morning Show is the president of the Deaf Sports Trinidad and Tobago, Valdanio Tobias, Coach Clayton Morris, and interpreter Rayan Hutton to discuss and share with us the journey to Brazil 2022. Good morning and welcome to the show.
Good morning. Thank you for having us.
It's a pleasure to have you. And it's wonderful to be able to have this discussion because, of course, this is something that we need to continue to talk about and needs to be shared. Now, one of the first things we want to talk about is when was DSTT established and what are the main objectives?
Okay, we were established in 2010. An entirely deaf and young team. And in 2011, we started getting more active and we're celebrating 10 years.
Wow.
Our main focus, not only in sports, but there's a plethora of, it's not like one sport in particular, but there's a plethora of sports that we focus on: football, basketball, table tennis, futsal, and so much more. Why we're doing this is to encourage the deaf, to learn sports. And also to encourage the deaf to understand that they are on equal footing with those internationally and regionally. I would like deaf to understand that they are equal. We're just like hearing people, we're normal.
I couldn't agree with you more. And it's wonderful to see the development and the inclusion as well. Now, one of the things, of course, as we're talking about this morning is the journey to Brazil. And we'd like to know, how long has DSTT been a member of the Pan American Deaf Sports Organization?
We joined in 2019. This happened because I noticed that there was this futsal organization in Panama, and Trinidad doesn't have much experience, so we joined in 2019. And Trinidad and Tobago Deaf Team, we have never traveled internationally, so we are really hoping that this year we would go to Brazil. I'm really hoping.
Oh, it's going to happen. It's definitely going to happen, right, Coach? Coach
Definitely.
Is like, yep, definitely. So let's talk about the journey itself. So we know now, okay, how you became aware of the organization. But if I'm not mistaken, there was also an invitation for the team to come. Is that correct?
Yes. They invited DSTT last year. I wanted to start training much earlier, but I think the Ministry of Health had their protocol in place, etc. And it lasted quite some time. And now everything is open again, and it started in April, thank God. So we grab the opportunity, we look for a place to train,
I agree 100%. In fact, I've seen, of course, on the Facebook page, that was one thing that was definitely celebrated. And there was also an invitation for others to come out and train with the team. So, Coach, tell us, how has the preparation been so far, knowing that the invitation came last year?
To be honest, I came on board the beginning or the ending of June.
Okay.
Right? And actually, these guys were training on grass. They were training on car park, where futsal basically is indoors or on a smooth surface, so that alone told, it tells you that, they really weren't sure exactly what it entails to play futsal, right? But as I said, in July, with the end of June, I got informed, and from the time I heard about it, I decided I want to be part of it. Because again, here it is the opportunity to give the differently able an opportunity, and more so internationally, that opportunity to feel as we as the hearing we have the opportunity.
Yes.
So I came on board. It reminded me a lot when I got the opportunity to coach the first ever Trinidad and Tobago national futsal men's team. Same thing, the guys were just accustomed to small goal. Nobody knew anything about futsal, right? So here it is now. I am placed in the position, you know, thank God put me in the position again to help these guys to, you know, and more so is an international competition, right? One of the challenges is to get them to understand is Trinidad and Tobago they are representing.
Yes.
You know, because again, as Valdano just identified, you know, they were playing all the other sports, and here it is now, their first time they are looking to go overseas. So, you know, the challenge now is to get the guys to understand is a national team we putting together. So, you know, that is one of the challenge now to get them to understand. So there are big sacrifices to make, you know, but still, you know, the challenge is not impossible, but as I said again, is just to get them to understand is Trinidad and Tobago. It's DSTT, Trinidad and Tobago.
Very important. And, you know, one thing with challenges, of course, there's going to be a lot of growth, and we look forward to seeing a lot more of this, as this is just the beginning. Now, of course, another challenge I would say possibly is fundraising when it comes to this event, and of course getting the team there, training and so forth. So do you have an estimate for the funds that are necessary to take part?
Okay. Slightly over $500,000. Half of that is going towards travel to get to Brazil. We have to get to Panama. And then we're going to get to Rio de Janeiro. And then from there, we arrive to Fortaleza. So that's why travel is so expensive. There's no direct flight to Fortaleza. And then when it comes to hotel and accommodation, that's cheap, that's normal. Yeah, so they're going to have 2 hotel stops. So we're waiting on the Ministry of Sport and Community Development. They're willing to support the STT, so it's a process. We're waiting on them. When it comes to budgeting, there are some deaf, when it comes to them individually, there's some deaf without jobs. So when it comes to things like shoes and certain equipment, shin guards, you know, uniform. Luckily, we've been sponsored for uniform, thankfully. You know, thank you, Cara Brewery, for supporting us. So it's just plane and accommodation, you know, flight and accommodation. So we need some more support when it comes to that.
Yeah, and you know, I love the fact that it's put so simply. You know, it's just hotel is fine. It's just, you know, that's easy. But definitely a long trip, and of course, if I'm not mistaken, the team. What is the size of the team?
There's 15 players and 6 staff. So in total, there are 21 of us.
Oh, well, that's a big, well, a fairly big size team, I must say. Big size. Yes. So let's talk about funding as well. Now, we've spoken about, of course, the fact that you are waiting for the ministry, but what about those of us who would like to contribute? Do you have any fundraising initiatives coming up that we can look forward to and assist with?
Yes. There's a barbecuing plan. Some people have also been donating. I would like to thank some individuals who have donated. You know, some gave 1,000, other companies, CSLC, Caribbean Sign Language Center, donated 6,000. You know, so it's coming along, and I'd really like to thank these donators and these sponsors. I really hope for more.
And I'm sure more will come. Can you just share with us some contact information? (341-4023). I also would like to know that we have a bank account for Deaf Sport Trinidad and Tobago. The number should be put up soon, yes? Yes, you're seeing it there at the bottom of your screen, viewers. FCB Savings, account number 242-9973, under the name Deaf Sports Trinidad and Tobago. Now, Coach, if you could just share with us, you said that you joined in June. Tell us, since you've joined and, of course, you've been able to analyze their process prior to you coming on board, how are you feeling and what has it been like?
Well, to be honest, the talent is limited. Right, as I said, most of the guys, you know, they're accustomed to the small goal football. And one of the good things is that being the national coach for over 16 years, I'm also the football coach at the University of Trinidad and Tobago. And just this year, I decided, after doing the Brazilian high performance futsal course last year for about 10 weeks, I decided I would use futsal as the development for football at UTT. So I started on a Wednesday between 6 to 8:30 p.m. at Pleasantville Indoor, and where I do that development with the UTT footballers. And lucky enough, one of the guys got selected on the national under-23 national team that went to Guadeloupe, and they came back with a bronze medal. So when I got the invitation with the DSTT, they were struggling for facilities. So again, as the football coach at UTT, you know, you have to have an outreach, because this is something I did in the prison 2019, 2018, 2019. So I decided, you know, to use the Wednesday, as we already have the indoor at Pleasantville, to incorporate and collaborate the DSTT training there, which it working out very well, because they didn't have any facility. And then I asked them to get on the Friday also any one of the facilities. They didn't, up to now we haven't received any facility to train on the Fridays, but we got back the Pleasantville indoor for the Sunday. So far it's only 2 days a week we have training, which, I mean, we need another day, right? But having said all of that, my main goal is to get the guys to understand the rules of futsal, right? Because the game is a fast pace, is high intensity, something like basketball. You know, you attack, you defend. And it's very important for them to understand the rules of the game. So yes, I am teaching the technical and the tactical aspect of the game, but I've paid a lot of emphasis on them understanding the rules of the game, because there are a lot of different rules from the normal football. So far, it's coming along very well. But I must say the consistency in training, some of the players the better players, so to speak, you know, again, we get in the same attitude with some of the what we will get with the hearing athletes. You get into the same thing, who want to go and party, who want to sleep late, and all these sort of things. You're getting it in that culture too. You know, so my job as a coach now is to emphasize, and as up to Valdano, he's also a player on the team, and he could tell you how I emphasize the importance of his Trinidad and Tobago on their jersey. Look at his sleeve. The training jersey also had the national flag. So I emphasize that it's Trinidad and Tobago they're representing, and not just the hearing impaired, you know. So you're getting the same attitude where you will get from the normal athletes, you're getting it with the hearing impaired. So again, my job is also to keep them motivated as much as possible.
My goodness. Wow. Some truth there from Coach Morris. I think it's something that we all are a bit aware of, but we need to hear it sometimes. Thank you so much for being with us on the show this morning. President, thank you. Coach, thank you. And of course, Rayanne, interpreter, thank you so much. Trinidad and Tobago and the world, stay tuned. There's a lot more coming up on the Now Morning Show.